not be a little cherry cake vlog if I didn't already have stained nail beds and hands. Today it is green. So welcome back to another Cake Life vlog. If this is the first video you are clicking on, I do behind the scenes of the wedding cakes I make and birthday cakes. And this week, it's actually a Friday. I am coming to you for the first time on a Friday. And that's because my wedding isn't until Sunday this week. So it's just one wedding cake. The stress is off. If you want to see how many cakes I've made before the last vlog, I had 3 wedding cakes and the one before that I had 2. So I will leave those linked below if you want to go and watch those. But it is just a small 2-tier this week, and it is for the lovely Alison and Roy. So Alison has had a cake from me before a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was her 30th birthday cake and it was very retro. We designed it because she liked all the retro cartoons. We designed it that way with like a retro TV full of characters, some of which you may be able to identify. And then a whole 10 years later, she came back for her 40th birthday cake, which wasn't actually that long ago, and now her wedding cake. So this is very special. And I'll talk you through the design process and where my mind went when I was designing it as we make it. But right now, they're covered, but we need to get them decorated. So we have this one here is our 5-inch. It has been covered and airbrushed in blue. And the bottom tier is a 7-inch and that's been covered in green paste. So this has been airbrushed and this has been covered in green. The reason for this is the sky, so I do like to airbrush it because the sky isn't all fully just one shade as it would be if I covered it in blue paste. So I like to airbrush it so it looks a little bit cloudy. It has more of a sky effect, and then this is just plain green as the background because there's lots of detail going on this. Right, I'm just back from dinner and I'm going to explain what scenery I've put on so far. So I tried to get the whole background elements on first because the last thing I need to do is add characters. So this on the top here is based on a scene, I want to say in the lakes possibly, to go back and read my email, but I do have a picture of it that they sent and it's a very special place that means something to both of them. And then moving down, this is the end of a chapel that they're actually getting married in. So this is like what the end of the building looks like, and I've still got to put bushes and flowers and everything in the characters on. So I will just chat through why I designed this the way I did. So when the couple send their ideas through, sometimes the theme is like really obvious. Sometimes it's a mashup, in which case this one is. But how they write their email will then kind of guide me on which way to go. So just for example, Alison is a massive Disney fan. So obviously, like I showed you her 40th birthday cake and her side was the Mickey side because she is all things Disney. So you would assume it would be a very Disney heavy cake because she says, I love all Disney, like anything to do with Disney, I love it. And this was part of her brief. However, the other bits that she talked about seem to have a much more significant part of what she was looking for. So as I was reading through, she was mentioning this chapel where she's got married and she was writing a bit about that. And then she said, I also have this area in the lakes that is really special to us both, and sent pictures through and everything. I thought we're leaning more towards the scenery side than we are the Disney side, even though she's a massive fan. So rather than go all out Disney, I decided to go down the scenery option and then just add a few Disney characters. So Roy is kind of like more Star Wars and Alison is more the classic Disney. So that's how the cake looks so far, just the scenery. And then we're adding as toppers R2-D2 and BB-8. That brings in the Star Wars reference. And then on the bottom to bring Alison's love of all her classic Disney. You cannot go wrong with Mickey and Minnie. So Mickey and Minnie are going to feature on either side of the chapel. So yeah, that's just where my brain went, because I would have loved to have done a really Disney heavy cake. I am a massive fan myself. However, reading through, I could just tell that these places meant something to them more than the Disney did, if that makes sense. So that's why I designed it that way. So it is now 1:10. It's a Friday. I don't have to have this ready until Sunday, but what I'm really hoping and trying to do is get these characters completely finished today. That might mean working past like the end of today. So like Adam's finish is say 3:30 on a Friday. I'll probably be working past that just to get it done, because that means I have a day freed up tomorrow to go and do things. So I have my R2-D2 body done. I've placed him on top of the cake, and I just now need to put all of his details on, and I thought I would just chat to you whilst I'm painting. You've just had a montage, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch another one straight away. But I am at a bit of a loss as to what to chat to you about. Let's do rad slabs. So rad slabs, if you're new here or you just don't know, I make chocolate bars for Christmas, and they are themed to all different things. Even just personalised one like themed to Christmas. And chocolate prices have gone a little bit insane. And what I mean by that is a sack of 15 kilos of chocolate that used to cost me £64 a bag is now £164 a bag. So it's gone up £100. And I'm trying really hard to still make the rad slabs this year. I enjoy making them. You guys are always asking for like different designs, and you can't wait for them to come out either. So I'm trying really hard to still make this happen, but it's incredibly difficult when the chocolate costs so much. Because obviously it is just chocolate. I say just chocolate. I use Belgian chocolate, which is obviously one of the best. It is imported from Belgium. However, the option to swap to a different chocolate isn't really there, because other chocolate has also risen, so it's across the board, it's very high. So I'm having to think of ways to still manage to make it for you, but still make it, well, viable basically. I don't want it to be too expensive for you to buy. I don't want it to be too expensive for me to make. So what I usually have is rad slabs in boxes, and the boxes are also themed. It just makes it nice that they're gift boxed. And what I might have to do is actually ditch the box and just use ribbon, which is sad, but at the same time I don't want to put people off actually buying the chocolate, because it's just getting just far too expensive. And I know to you it probably will be, it's just a chocolate bar. Like, wow, that is a lot of money for just the chocolate bar. But like I said, it is Belgian chocolate. I do hand make them, design them. You know, it's not from a factory that's pre-wrapped it for you. And they can also be personalised as well, which is always a nice touch for Secret Santas, stocking gifts, especially for the kids, Christmas Eve boxes and things like that. So I do want to continue making them. I just have to see how I go with the pricing. Right, I'm just adding details here to R2-D2. I've got a picture up on my phone, and I'm basically just copying the details in like a greyish paint, first of all, to make sure everything's in the right place. And then his other details, we've got blue and silver. I'll continue on that, and then I'll come back to you when I get to BB-8. Right, now we're on to BB-8, and BB-8 is a very round character, and we want it to keep its shape, so we're using a polystyrene ball for the inside. It also keeps it nice and lightweight. If this was just round sugar paste and you put it down, it's eventually just going to slump. So I always have lots and lots of polystyrene balls, all different sizes in my studio, on hand for things exactly like this. I've got some white sugar paste, and now we just want to cover the ball, which is the base of the body. squashing that all the way around until it is fully enclosed, and then rolling it in between your hands to get rid of those seams. It does take a while, you just add a little bit of pressure, the seams disappear. The hardest part is just trying to get it fully, completely round, but just keep going. And then I'm going to pop a cocktail stick in, which is going to anchor this into the cake and stop it from rolling off. The next thing we need to do is BB-8 has like an orange circle pattern. So I'm just grabbing any circle cutter I have and just imprinting underneath somewhere. So that'll just give me a guide for painting. Now just mixing my paint, which is orange gel with a little bit of white dust. Just to make an opaque and lighter orange. And now I'm going to try and follow those orange patterns. So it's a full orange blocked line on the outside, which is quite hard to keep it on camera when you're shaking and concentrating. Got shaky hands. So it's quite a thick orange band. Once you've done the outside, you can go back on to the inside and make it a little bit thicker. Kind of looks a bit more like a monster's eyeball at the moment. And then there are 4 little prongs that kind of aim towards the centre. One above it. So that's it for the orange part. You want to do that on all the other circles, and then they've got silver bits in between. So whilst I continue to paint these circles, just as warning, it may go off camera because the more I talk to you, the less I'm concentrating on what the camera is actually capturing. But whilst we're talking about the prices of chocolate, that leads me on to like just how many chocolatiers I've seen giving up. So many people have had to close, and I am not surprised with the amount, like the cost of chocolate. There's just no one is going to pay the prices that they need to charge in order just to make a simple, small profit. Not only chocolatiers, but I have seen cake makers who have been doing it as long as I have. So we're talking like 20 years that are now just giving up. It's just too expensive to make everything, to buy everything. And then when you need to put your prices up to cover the costs of that, because there's only so much you can swallow, then the cakes can become just too expensive for people or out of people's budgets. So let me know in the comments if you have seen this. Have you seen some cake decorators just calling it a day and going getting another job? I have seen so many. I think there's more this year than I've ever seen before. And honestly, I don't blame them one little bit. It is hard out here at the moment. Right, I'm almost done with this orange, so I'll catch you again when I'm ready to put it on top of the cake. Right, time for BB-8's head. And just for time check, we are now on 2:30. So now we have to very carefully try and paint on a straight line all the way around the base of the head. Yeah, so the reason I'm hoping I can get tomorrow off really is because we haven't actually had much time to shop because we've just been here, there and everywhere with wedding cakes. And I really want to get some Halloween items. I'm a huge fan of Halloween, but I don't have much Halloween decor in the house. That's because I want to pick up stuff that I'm going to want to pull out year after year. Do you know when you can just find loads of tat in the shops and people will just buy it to use for a year and then throw it away? I'm not like that. I like to be able to buy something and then look forward to pulling it out the next year like you do for Christmas, which means I'm then very particular about what I buy, because if I'm going to spend money, I have to make sure that I like it and it's 100% what I want. So I would like to go out and find some nice Halloween items, like TK Maxx is my go-to for things like that. But year after year, I've always wanted to do some Halloween DIY, like make your own stuff. I've had craft stuff at home for years, and because I'm so busy around Halloween, because I am an alternative cake maker, so Halloween tends to be very, very busy, I just never get the chance to make them. But I'm also looking forward to what I have scheduled in the diary. So we've scheduled a day out to have a little Halloween marathon films. We're going to set the projector up in the conservatory, get all the blankets out, do a little buffet, and it is my turn to kind of have my choice of horror films. See, I'm a massive horror film fan. I love my horror, and Adam absolutely hates it. And when I mean hates it, like he walked out of the cinema once. He's not a horror fan at all, would literally watch anything else but. So I never get to watch it. It's a bit boring watching horror films on your own. So I tend to just not watch any. But this time I have it scheduled in. I said, look, come on, it's Halloween. Let me at least watch one proper Halloween scary film. So he's kind of given me a free pass to watch one scary film on my Halloween buffet day. So I'm looking forward to that immensely. I don't know what to choose. Does anybody have an idea for like a good horror film that is not like too scary that's going to push him over the edge? Texas Chainsaw Massacre is out of the question. Absolutely hates those films with a passion. So let me know your recommendations for some nice horror films that aren't going to make him jump out of his skin in the comments. But I'm going to finish this up now. You can see R2-D2 here has got his little paint job. We have dirtied him up a little bit and give him his hat, and BB-8 we're going to give a little flower once it has its eyeball on. If there's one colour I usually always have to hand, because it's very useful to have, and that is black sugar paste. And I have run out. I do have it on order, just waiting for it. So it looks like I'm going to have to hand colour black. This is never a good idea. Because the amount of gel you have to use to get it black, very sticky. And now I'm going to swap my green fingers for black ones. So the reason I am colouring this black is because I am moving on to Mickey and Minnie on either side of the chapel, who are peeking out from behind some bushes. And then I've got lots of wildflower sort of plants to make around the back, because there are like wildflowers featured on their invites. So that's where I picked that element up from. And also the chapel has some gardens off to the side with lots of nice little flowers in. So it will tie in both at the same time. But you can see how much gel I put in the first time, and it's only turned it grey. And I know Mickey's old, but he's still not grey yet. We are bang on 3:30 now, and I have Mickey and Minnie on peeking around the bushes. I didn't film this because I do have a tutorial, an exclusive in the Brigade. It's not specifically on how to make Mickey Mouse, but he is the subject of the video. The tutorial really is how to capture a character's likeness, like what to look out for when you're making a character and how to construct him. And just in that video, as the subject, it was Mickey Mouse. So I've already filmed that and it's already in the Brigade. So I quickly just duplicated it, added eyelashes and a bow, and that's Minnie. And now I'm probably going to spend another half an hour to an hour adding flowers and more greenery all around the bottom tier. But I'm going to have this finished today. 4:20 and all the florals are on. I will spin this around so you can see around the back. So it's just a collection of colours, different shapes and some rocks. But yeah, love how this one turned out. I love all the different colours going around on the bottom and going up into more natural scenery The water and the bridge going across, and obviously topped with Star Wars characters. Love BB-8's little antenna there. Hello, it's actually been a few weeks now since I filmed the footage you've just watched, but the delivery went fine. We went to a nice little venue and the staff were really lovely. One of the girls actually asked me if I had a business card, and I used to keep business cards in the car, then I never used them. We took them out, and then you can guarantee when you take them out somebody asks you for one. So I put them back in the car just in case. The setup was really lovely. They had a personalised cake knife ready to go, which reminds me I need to film a cake cutting guide that I can send out to either venues or my couples, because nobody actually tells you what to do on the day. There's a lot of people getting married for the first time and you're never really told how to cut your cake. You see some videos where people will cut it and try and feed each other a slice and smash it into their face. Not a fan of that. And obviously some cakes are quite fragile in that they may have internal structures that you might hit with your knife. Whether you have a buttercream cake or a ganache cake, buttercream cakes are going to be a little less stable when you go to put your knife in. Sometimes people will try to cut the top tier instead of the bottom tier. Some people try to run their knife down the whole 3 tiers. Nobody tells you these things. Nobody tells you how to actually cut a cake on your wedding day. So I think I'm going to shoot a video on that I can send to my couples and venues, just so like they're on the same page as me. Everybody will have a different preference, but to me, I would prefer the bride and groom to cut the bottom tier at the back. In fact, you don't even have to cut your cake. I didn't cut my cake at my wedding. I didn't even have a picture with it, which is ridiculous now I think about it. Being a cake designer, I made my own cake and didn't even have a picture with my cake. But really, you just kind of want to rest the knife on the cake, have your picture taken, and that's it. You don't really actually need to cut it. As long as you've got your knife on it, your axe, your sword, whatever it is that you're cutting it with, just stand there for your picture, and then the venue takes it out and cuts it up for you in the kitchen. Some people do like to just cut the cake as a ceremonial sort of thing, in which case, like I said, the back of the bottom tier would be best, because each tier is going to have a board underneath it and your knife is going to hit that board, so you can't go all the way down. You're better off doing the bottom because that's nice and safe. If you do it from the top and you end up pulling the top tier off, there's so many different things that could go wrong. So yeah, that's just reminded me to do that. And let me know if you want that as a video, because I'm going to be shooting it anyway and I'll keep it private for my couples and stuff. But if you're interested and you want to send it to your couples, so they know like what to expect, let me know. But I'm just having my dinner. Like I said, it's weeks and weeks later now. And I'll pop on screen some cakes that I have made since. So we've had quite a few wedding cakes. I have had some lovely feedback from my couples lately, and they've left some really nice reviews, so that's another reminder to myself, share my reviews on my Instagram so other people can read them. But what am I doing this week? I have just delivered a wedding cake on Thursday. Yesterday, it is Friday now. And I am setting off, well, not setting off, I'm not going anywhere, but what I'm starting today is prep for Christmas. Believe it or not, I need to get my Christmas rad slabs ready. I need to design some new ones because I have had the old designs around for a while now. I know they're still popular though, so I still have to make them, but I did want to introduce some new ones. We're introducing chocolate lollies this year. And I have all my markets coming up, so I'm going to be working on that. We are currently playing Caketober over on Instagram, so if you don't know what this is and you haven't seen it yet pop up on Instagram, I will show you. Is the Caketober list. So this is a prompt list and each day has a different theme. So today is the 4th of October as I'm filming this, so the theme is floral. So then you just want to go through your past work. This is a really good chance to share cakes that you haven't shared for a while. I haven't shared my floral cake yet today. I still have that to do. But to give you an idea, here is yesterday's post of magic Yondu Poppins with his magic bag. And if I scroll, I've just posted the cake and then the prompts list, and that is literally all you do every single day. The reason behind this, it gives you a chance to share past work, but it also keeps you very active on social media, because sometimes you just don't know what to post, you don't know what to write as your description, which often puts you off posting altogether. This gives you an excuse to post. You know exactly what you need to post because the theme is there every single day. And you also type in a hashtag. So this is my post here. And you can see some of the hashtags I've used. So Caketober 2024 is the one you want to kind of click on. So I'll click on that there, and this takes you to the Caketober 2024 view, and these are all other people playing. These are all other people's cakes who are also playing along, and this means you get to discover new people to follow. Your cake will show up on here for other people to find you, and it's all about finding new cake decorators to follow, lots more inspiration, lots more cake friends. And believe me, there are hundreds of people playing. So if you didn't know about that, that's happening over on Instagram. You can play on Facebook. I have my Instagram and Facebook linked, so whatever I post on Instagram also goes onto Facebook. So you can play on there if you like. However, just for ease, Instagram is just so much easier. And that's where I choose a couple from that page, from the hashtag page, to share to my stories to kind of show off some of the cakes, some of my favorite cakes from the day. So yeah, this vlog should go up when we're still in the beginnings of October. So feel free to come on over and join us. But it's all about Christmas for me today. I'm making Christmas everything. Just for photos, because I'm going to be launching them next week. Launching them for pre-order next week, so I need to have my pictures ready. Then I will be making them throughout the end of October, all throughout November, to then send them out in the post to you. However, if you want to come and see and buy one in person, I have a list of markets that I'm attending. That's also over on Instagram. But I am in Yorkshire, I am in Manchester, I am in Birmingham, I am in Liverpool. I am all over the place with my markets. So if you want to grab one in person, pop over to Instagram and have a look where I am and when. But I'm going to go now because I've got lots to do. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in a little bit.